Hello, this is Mrs. Groves, and I'm going to review section 8.3 with this warm-up. Up until this point, we've only been dealing with variables that have positive exponents. Right? So here are examples, they have positive exponents, but they also have negative exponents. Now there's several ways that you can make these negative exponents positive. And you are required in all the problems that will be on your Chapter 8 test to use only positive exponents in your answers. So I'm going to go through this warm-up. I'm going to do the odd problems with you and walk you through those. And then you're going to do the even problems, and I'm going to do them silently. Again, this is a very good video to watch to make sure you understand how to change negative exponents to positive exponents. And it's quite simple. In this example right here, we have 4y squared, and we want to simplify this. So the 4 stays home. Okay, so the 4 stays on the top. We want this to become a positive exponent. So all we're going to do is we flip it between the numerator and the denominator. And when it's a negative exponent, we're just going to push it to the top and it becomes a positive exponent. X to the 4th. And then the y squared is positive, so we don't do anything. So all we did was take the negative exponent and we take that variable, we bring it to the top, and it becomes positive. In B, we have 2/3 y. Okay, so the 2 is going to stay put. Nothing's going to happen with the 2. The 3 is going to stay put. The y is a positive exponent. It's quite happy where it is. But the x, think of it as x has a negative exponent and it is unhappy. So to make the x happy, it has to go into the denominator, and so it becomes x squared, and that is your answer. So all you have to do is make those negative exponents happy. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. So we have our first one here. And we know that we want to simplify this. This is division. So we're going to take and simplify our fraction because we're going to treat numbers like numbers, and we get 1/2. Then we look at our x's. Okay. Applying the quotient rule means that we have x cubed minus -1. Okay, we'll simplify that later, but the quotient rule is same base, x, subtract the exponents. Then we're going to look at the y's, and we have y, and the implied exponent is 1 minus 5. So we're going to simplify this. So we have 1 over 2 x. Okay, when we subtract a negative, it becomes a positive. X to the 4th. Y, 1 minus 5 is negative 4. But you can see one of our variables is unhappy. So we have to take this and we're going to put it into the denominator to make it happy. So my answer in the fraction, we don't need the 1. We have x to the 4th. We have the 2 in the denominator, and we make this y to the 4th, and now it's happy. And that's your final answer. All right, so always circle your final answer or put a box around it so it's clear as to what your final answer is. Okay, another way to approach this problem is say, I want my exponents happy before I do anything. So I know this exponent is unhappy. So I have y to the 0. I'm going to bring this up. Y cubed 10x. And in this case, I'm going to have y 0 plus 3 over 10x, which is simply y to the 3rd over 10x. Okay, so you can either, method 1, use the quotient rule and subtract exponents, or method 2, make your exponents that are negative happy at the very beginning. Okay, so method 2, make negative exponents into positive exponents. And it really depends on which way you're more comfortable. So number 3, all we're going to do is we're going to distribute the 3. This is the power rule. Remember the power rule. And the power rule means to multiply exponents. Okay, so here we're going to have negative 3 to the 3rd x 2 times 3 y negative 1 times 3. Okay, so that's the work that you've been used to showing. Now we're going to simplify this. So negative 3 to an odd exponent means the answer is going to be negative. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 2 times 3, x to the 6th, and y to the negative 3. But we're not done. Just put a line here, and this has to go to the denominator to make it happy. So my final answer is negative 27 x to the 6th over y cubed. So now we're doing this problem. And I find students, when you have power to power, they just prefer to distribute the 3 to everything. And that's fine. Or you can use order of operations to simplify this. So if I keep the 3 on the outside, the negative, okay, so that means if I simplify this, 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that's negative 2. I'm going to use the quotient rule, x, okay, to the negative 3 minus 1. And I'm running out of a little room. So that was minus 1. Y 2 minus negative 4. And everything is raised to the 3rd. So now I'm going to simplify what's in the parentheses. So I'm going to get negative 2, negative 3 minus 1 is x to the negative 4. Y 2 minus negative 4 is positive. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And that is all raised to the 3rd power. So now I have to distribute the 3. This is the power rule. So I'm going to have negative 2 cubed x negative 4 times 3 y 6 times 3 and I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to put a little line here so that I know that I have space to do my problem number 9. So now I'm simplifying this. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. Odd. Negative 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. X to the negative 12. Y to the 18. Okay. And I'll just put it over 1. Because the numbers, don't do anything with the numbers. Numbers are independent. There's multiplication signs between all these 3 things. So it's negative 8. Okay, so in the numerator I have negative 8. This has to go to the denominator, x to the 12. And now y to the 18th is happy where it is. So when you're doing these problems, just simply do them step by step and don't try to rush it. So number 9, I'm going to take the negative 3 and I'm going to distribute it with everything. Let's see if. So that's going to be 2 to the third, A 3 times negative 3, and B 2 times negative 3. So that's going to give me 2 to the third is 8, A to the negative 9, B to the negative 6. And when you have negative exponents, it's always good to draw this line. Which ones do I have to make happy? This has to be happy, and this has to be happy. So my final answer is going to be the 8 stays put. A to the negative 9, A to the 9th, B to the 6th. Okay, so all you're doing with the negative exponents is flipping them between the numerator and the denominator. So now what I want you to do is I want you to do these problems on your own, the even ones. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that people that need to look at the problems, the odd ones, they can see how I did my work. Okay, and so now I'm going to do these silently, the even ones. So I think everyone's had a chance to look at numbers 1 through 9, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that you can follow along with me easier as I do each of these problems. Again, the trick to doing these problems is the trick to doing some of these problems is just to go slow. Follow order of operations and the rules for exponents. Don't forget to look at your index card that has all the rules. And on that index card, you might want to put the rules for negative exponents on the back. Now again, there are a number of different ways to do this problem. Someone may choose to take that y to the negative 2 and put it in the denominator before they do the distributing. Or they could distribute and then put it in the denominator. I'm going to distribute. Now for some of you, it might be better for you to use notebook paper to make it easier for you to follow how to do these problems. So that's what I'm going to do for the last 3. So then you're using notebook paper. Okay. If you use notebook paper, then you're going to make sure that you keep everything in line and you do it one step at a time. Okay. I always find it easier to simplify what's in the parentheses. So that's what I always do first. Some people choose to distribute that 3. Oops, just a minute. You're probably already done. I'm almost there. Now, number 10 is a little tricky here because this number has a negative exponent. So remember I told you to draw a line, put a 1 here. So not only am I going to have to bring this, I'm going to have to bring this to the 2 to the denominator and the x to the denominator. So here, the y is happy, y to the 4th. And I still have to simplify this. All right, so here are the answers. And just remember, make those negative exponents happy. Have a good day.